#1 personality show. You know, Dwayne Johnson said many years ago that success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success, and greatness will come. And that's why we're all striving not to be successful only, but rather to be of value as well. Hello there, and welcome to Star Chat, your most compelling destination for legacy conversations where stories unfold, leadership is demystified, and the hearts behind the headlines are brought to light. On the show tonight, we open a sacred chapter, one written with faith, service, and the quiet strength of a man whose calling has touched lives across nations and generations. Our guest this evening is more than a preacher. He's a father, a mentor, a teacher, and a voice that has, for over 4 decades, called men and women back to the heart of God. He was born November 14, 1958. Well, it's a good one for him. And he was born in Kumasi. We'll test his tree. We'll put it to test right here. And a proud son of the Amugi royal family, whose early days were shaped in Accra schools and whose calling emerged during the secondary years at Ebenezer Secondary School, Padua. All right. His commitment, that's right, his commitment to the gospel began through Scripture Union and Youth for Christ, blossoming into full-time ministry after formative mentorship with renowned Christian leaders and, great prayers, Ghana's leading neo-Pentecostal pioneers. He was ordained in 1986. Bishop, he has since guided the Victory Bible Church International, a ministry whose sanctuary stretched across Ghana, Europe, Asia, and the Americas. He also serves as the chairman of the Executive and Apostolic Council's senior pastor of Dominion Sanctuary in Awoshi, and is the president of the Victory Christian College, where pastors and ministers are trained, mentored, and commissioned to carry the gospel with conviction and clarity. So from pulpits to airwaves, he has been relentless in his mission, preaching the word through widely followed radio ministry, The Voice of Victory, and his digital Bible series, which has caught on with many, Reading My Bible Again. His message remains clear, that every believer must grow into the full knowledge of their inheritance in Christ. He's also an author of books including The Believer's Mind, Dreams of the Night, and Fulfilling Your Destiny, Overcoming Depression While We Speak in Tongues, and Heaven on Earth. This is a man who is bridging theology and everyday living, giving the believer practical tools for spiritual victory. My guest, a respected member of the National Executive Council of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, GPCC, is known for his teachings on the courts of heaven, which have opened new dimensions of revelation and prayer. So he sits down with us today on the show Star Chat, and what can I say? You're most welcome.
Thank you, Bola.
Reverend Doctor, and I call him Bishop,
train people, as it were, for heaven. But we have not really trained people for the earth. So when it comes to nation building, I'm sure that we have some work to do.
Indeed, there's work to do, and you've done a tremendous job. I mean, how has Victory Bible Church evolved? I mean, you've, under your leadership, 40 years we're celebrating. What an anniversary. How has Victory Bible Church evolved under your leadership?
Victory Bible Church, first of all, I want to say that I have a lot of people that hold my hands. So I want to say thank you to all of them, particularly my wife, then my associates. Once you start mentioning names,
yes,
you take somebody out and you know how it feels like.
So it's a teamwork. That makes a dream work.
It's a teamwork. You can't do it alone.
You are a phenomenal leader, because many would take the glory alone and say, well, I have done this. But you say, look, there's a team behind the performance.
There is a team that supports me, that have held my hand over 40 years. So they need to be commended. And I seize the opportunity always to tell them.
It has been an interesting journey, right? I know we'll be getting into how it started and how far you've come. But looking back, did you envisage that, look, Yes, God will be so good to bring you this far with all that you've done. I've gone through the church premises and the building, and I'm not like, this is mind-blowing. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I want to say that it's work.
It's work.
Is really work. And when you add the element of faith, then you have to double up.
That's right.
And when it comes to faith, many people presume that once it's church, automatically people are coming in, things are working out.
But that's not it.
But we live in a real world. And I always say that once you start a church, you have the human element, which you are trained for. But the spiritual element that you are not trained for, even if you are trained, spiritual beings operate at different wavelengths.
That's right.
So the same problem you faced in 2024 is not the same problem you are going to face in 2025, because the dynamics are totally different. And when you are dealing with church, the dynamics are quite different.
Wow.
Because when somebody goes to office, you know the person's schedule is drawn up. The person knows if I don't go to work, I'll be, I'll lose my salary.
That's right.
But church, if he doesn't come, he still feels that he's doing you a favor. And so you have to know how to keep attracting them and how to lead them. So that makes church work different.
Interesting perspectives that you're sharing, and congratulations on building one of Ghana's most influential churches. I mean, Victory Bible Church International, from small beginnings into a global family. What's the secret behind the sustained growth and unity, across continents?
First of all, definitely we know the divine element, that you have God on your side. But even God, you still have to develop the relationship with him continually. In the Bible, they have what is called the sacrifice, and the fire for the sacrifice must continually burn, or else the enemy of the fire is from within the fire. Because the ashes that come out of the fire can extinguish the fire.
Okay.
So you always have to fan the fire so that...
To keep the flame burning.
To keep the flame burning. Because the enemy of the flame comes from within the flame. So that is one thing. So what you have to do is to keep your eye on the ball. And I always tell all my leaders that it's like soccer. Because you have to stay on the touchline. No matter what strategies, what tactics you have put in place, you always have to stay on the touchline. Because you could find a player who is absent-minded. Wow. By the time he's supposed to tackle, he's absent-minded, and you don't know what crosses the person's mind.
The bishop, that is a lot of work as the shepherd of the flock. And you doing this for 40 years.
40 years because, first of all, you have to build relationship with people. And when you build relationship and you connect with people, they will gladly follow you. They will trust you. I have something that I always say. If a pastor preaches on Sunday and he goes hard on the congregation, there are select few who would say it's not intentional. And those people are those that the pastor visited within the week.
Right.
So they know that there is a relationship, there's a connection. But if the person, you don't stay connected, he sees it differently. It's just like you would tell your neighbor in Ghanaian parlance, go away. The relationship makes it not to become, insulting.
Right.
It makes it relational. So when you have relationship with somebody, it's one thing. And when you don't have relationship, so in the same way, you try to connect. And that is why you should develop what we call sheep-shepherd relationship.
Sheep-shepherd relationship. But for many now, the church is growing. So maybe you started off with 15 people, with 9 people. Now you have over 4,000, 10,000. And with an ever-changing world, how do you then stay connected and stay relational?
What you have to do is get a call. Then you train the call to also stay in touch with another call, with another call. That is why Jesus, within even the 12, he had a call of 3 that he had to be with. And so once you lose your call, you are in trouble. You always have to maintain the call. And one of the things you have to develop is you don't have to take offenses personal.
Okay.
And like I said, when somebody offends you, take it in relational terms. Once you take it in relational terms, the offenses loses its bite because you are always in relationship.
That's right.
And sometimes you have to humble yourself.
You have to. So humility plays a critical role.
Critical role
in leadership.
In leadership, because the word humble comes from the word humus. And once they mention humus, you know you are talking about sand. So it means that you must stay in touch with the ground. You must stay in touch continually.
That's some teaching only on Star Chat with the one and only Bishop Tackie-Yarboi. But you've been doing this for 40 years. How do you personally stay fresh? Messages are on point, we get inspired, and it's relevant.
You have to look at human beings as people with complex problems. And when you look at the complexity of human needs, that doesn't make you tired. Because you always have to reach out to let people become what God created them to be. You have to try to get people to stay focused and be purposeful. And so once you think about human beings, you think about people as not a product, but are made in the image of God, and you want them to be what God created them to be. You want them to be the best in the world. Then that makes you continually, create, think, try to find out, what do I have to do to let people rise up, to let them become what God created them to be.
Interesting. And while we put up your artwork and flyer to say, look, and a message out there that we're coming to interview you, we got some, messages, we got some questions as well. And Elsie in Asylum Down wanted to know from you that he says, look, Bola, ask him. Some say prosperity, gospel has overshadowed discipleship. What really is your take on that? And I want to know, because she is very particular about that, and she was worried, she was bothered that now it's all about prosperity gospel, and it seems to have overshadowed discipleship. Is that the case?
It is always the case that we go off balance. Okay. We just have to accept the fact that there is no teaching in the Bible, there is no doctrine where we don't go off balance. We go off balance because we live in an imperfect world. So no matter what you do, I remember when there was a time we were even teaching on what we call faith. And there were people who came to the place where they would say, I claim Bola's jacket by faith. And somebody would say, I walk into a shop or take a taxi and say that by faith I'm paying you, but you don't have money. So for every teaching, every doctrine, there's a tendency to go to an extreme. So when it comes to prosperity, because definitely you need to prosper, because poverty is a social problem. Or if I would say in biblical parlance, poverty is a social demon. And so we need to prosper. But in prospering, we don't need to be materialistic.
Where do we draw the line? And that's where many have a problem.
In drawing the line, I want to say sometimes you leave it in the hands of God.
Okay.
Because no matter what you do, people will go to extremes. But God in his wisdom has a way of bringing people back. And so sometimes leave them.
Really? Because if somebody is in your church and maybe flaunting his or her wealth, and people feel they are going the extreme, and you as the shepherd or leader, and you say, oh, leave them. God will bring them to that end that they have to be. Is that acceptable?
I think you said you try my tree. So if you permit me.
Tree my
almost say in social. So the system of the universe that God has created is such that something will definitely happen that will call your attention to the fact that you are going extreme.
Wayward.
You are going wayward.
What about if they die?
if they die, we believe God that they will not die. But we pray
Right.
that you will correct yourself. You make the necessary adjustment before you go to an extreme. And God in his own way has a way. He puts family around us. He puts people around us who will be calling your attention, who will be telling you that you are going to an extreme and you are getting into danger. And so that is what we do. Because or else God wouldn't have even given us our own lives.
Okay.
He gave our lives to us. And then he expects us to take care of ourselves.
An interesting point, Bishop, and still staying with you where people say, well, I received this by faith. I touch your garment and I get healed. I touch the altar. What do you make of such commentary when people go out there and say, well, this Sunday I'm praying on the altar and I believe that I will be healed. I'm staying here doing this, even the holy water, and people sell it in churches. People feel that there's some spiritual healing. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that these things you can't, as it were, institutionalize and say, don't touch here, don't touch here.
What is your personal take on that?
My personal take is that when it comes to touching, they touch Jesus. They touched, the woman touched Jesus. My personal take is that even the shadow of Peter was laid out there. And they were waiting for the shadow of Peter.
So it's normal, it's acceptable for somebody to come to church and say, well, by this altar, I should be healed. And if they believe in that, so be it.
If it becomes an idol.
Idol.
Because we have Jesus. He never used one method for praying for people. Because we have the tendency to worship creation more than the creator.
But shouldn't that be the reverse, be the case that you worship the creator? And that is why people should worship God through Jesus, or worship Jesus and get to God and do that, instead of maybe now they found this object and they are worshiping it because they feel they can get to Jesus or to God.
That is what we will define as
idol worshiping.
Idol worship or man as folly. No matter what you do. Let me tell you a brief story.
Please do.
A man travels into the country and then he's bought a big teddy bear for the children, one on the left, one on the right. And when the children run towards their daddy, they go for the gift instead of going for their daddy.
That they've not seen in a while.
And once they get the gift, they forget about their daddy for a while. And that is, unfortunately, that is what happened to mankind. And that happens to all of us in life. And so God has a way by which he calls our attention. You know, even if we take it to marriage, there are people who forget the reason why they married, and they are looking at the results of the marriage. And so they tend to have problems. The two of them forget that we married for this reason. All of a sudden, they start paying attention on the things that came as a result of the marriage. When two people marry, God blesses them, they get money. They build a house. By the time you realize the attention goes to the house rather than the attention being on one another. And that tells us that human beings will always leave the Creator and worship the creation. And that is idolatry. And you have to be attentive, because the enemy of success is perceived success. Because when people are starting a business, they were ordinary. Now when the person becomes successful, he starts worshiping success rather than staying focused on what brought him to the level of success. And so that is the same thing with your question about prosperity. By the time you realize you are worshiping things, you are worshiping, and you need to keep the main thing as the main thing. If you're a pastor of a church, the main thing is the people. First, God and the people. But sometimes when the people become thousands, by the time you realize, you lose contact with the people and you worship the success, and you throw your weight about and prove to them that I'm a successful man.
Interesting angle to it, and it leads me to my next question, where I'm looking at the rise of prophetic movements and celebrity pastors. They are all over. We see their billboards, and many are worried, and they say that it has shifted spiritual authority in the country. What are the implications for discipleship and also holistic Christian living? I mean, now you have people coming, they are celebrity pastors, they are young. It's not good. Yes, they can be young and powerful and all of that, but it's as if they are chasing after something else rather than pointing to God.
That is the unfolded area we find ourselves. Even in keeping money, we have what is called inflation.
Right.
And nobody knows where inflation is coming from. It is one of the things.
But that's chasing more money, chasing fewer goods. So at least you can point to that will let inflation go up. So what is accounting for many people wanting to be men of God, prophets, and celebrity pastors?
So by the time you realize they stop chasing God,
yes,
they stop chasing the members for whom God put them there. You know, the best way you can understand is the sheep that you take care of will give you their wool to cover yourself when you are feeling cold. But by the time you realize, you focus on what the sheep will give you rather than the sheep.
Come again.
You focus on
what the sheep will give. But that's the wool. Mm-hmm.
The wool.
Okay.
But without the sheep, there will be
get
no more wool. But that is the unfortunate thing, that the off balance. So you definitely have to work. It's work, and it's hard work. And keep the main thing as the main thing. Let me just bring you a story. There was one of the best American football coaches. And his team, the players had become successful. The players had money, had car. So they were scored. And on break, he took the American football and said, yes, what is this? And then all the players said, oh, we know what it is. It said, mention it. It said football, American football. Then he said, this is the reason. This is what gives you money. This is what I've brought you to where you are. But you are forgetting the football. You are now focusing on what football brings. And so, if you are not careful, you want to become a star. Unfortunately, we are doing this at Starr, so that is not Starr FM I'm attacking. But I'm saying, by the time you realize you want to become a celebrity, and you know, even Hollywood, when people become stars, it begins to fight them.
Correct.
Because they stop reading their script, they stop sticking to their promises, and then they focus. So, if you become a celebrity pastor, don't forget that the members are watching you, and they will pay you in kind.
They will?
They will definitely pay you. Once you lose touch in them, with them, they will definitely. And the unfortunate thing is, they will slide out one by one, only for you to realize that what you were doing, they don't like it. It's just like always church. If I take all the time, the church members, I have the microphone. They will not be able to tell me. But the next Sunday, you see that
the numbers will be diminishing.
The numbers begin to dwindle.
But I believe there's also that Christian body. I know you are a respected member of the National Executive Council of the Ghana Pentecostal Council. What are you doing? I mean, you are known for your teachings and all of that. Are you not bringing these people to book?
It's difficult.
It is.
It's difficult. I'm a part of the GPCC and the National Council.
Okay.
But I'm not no more sitting because I was invited again.
So you're not more part of the
executive council because it's work.
It's work.
And it's very demanding.
Okay.
And as we are growing, you have things to do.
Yes.
So that is one of the
But
challenges.
you are still a member, but not on the executive.
I'm a full member.
Right.
Now, there is freedom of association. And so once there's freedom of association, if the person decides not to, as it were, be part of your association, that in itself is a problem. But the wisest thing to do is to be part of a body which is bigger than you. And so they help you. They help shape you. But when it comes to doctrine, it comes to style, which these Christian bodies can go. But when you are bringing reproach to them, they will advise you.
Okay.
They will call your attention. But if you choose to ignore them, and that is dangerous, if people wash their hands of you and everybody is watching you,
Right.
be careful.
Be careful.
Because you can not always be right as an individual.
Can't you excommunicate? Can't you drive them out? Can't you say, well, we don't want you as a member?
Oh, you'll be excommunicated.
Mm.
They will drive you out.
Okay.
But if you are not careful, the person takes you to court. Because
The freedom
dynamics
of
of, and
yeah.
he's saying you have disgraced me.
Okay.
And the way you did this, you did
Right.
that. So you have to go through various kinds of, bodies.
That's right.
Disciplinary bodies. They would approach you from various angles. Then when they get to a place where it's too much, either you leave
Yes.
or they
you
decide that we can't walk with you together.
Running through this interview has been that catchphrase, work, work, work. It means that it doesn't just fall on your lap or you feel, well, it's an easy path for you to walk. You have to put in the work.
You have to put in real work.
So meaning that we say, oh, it's a call from God. I have this, so it's divine. I can even not prepare. It will come to me. They mentioned the unction is on me, the anointing is on me, and it needs preparation. And you do that and research and all of that, right?
There is, in the beginning, if we go biblical, God made a garden and put man into it.
Correct.
What does it mean? It means that you are working with God. God will give you rain. God will give you sun for the photosynthesis and all that. But you have to till the ground. There was a rich man that went to a farm and told the man that you are very fortunate. Your farm, you have also become rich through the farm. And then the man said, you should have seen my farm when God was the owner alone. When God was the owner alone. So it's my corporation and God that has brought it to where it is. So God intentionally, God always wants to cooperate with man.
So without the cooperation of man, are we saying that God cannot move or get things done?
Quote unquote.
Wow.
So God himself, in the Bible, God says, I sought for a man, but I saw none.
Yes.
Then he says, my own arm brought me salvation. So God is always on the look. He's looking for a man. He's looking for a woman. He's looking for somebody. And that is why God created us. And that is why in the Bible we have heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. So God is always looking for the earth. He's looking for man.
So one cannot say, I'm spiritual, I'm there, I want to work, but God will provide. I should just be there. You have to put in the work. You have to do something, or God can use men to then provide for you. How does that work then?
The Bible clearly tells us that he who does not work must not eat. Clearly. And then clearly, it is clear that the laws of the universe will measure you. Laws of the universe would measure you, and they will definitely pay you back. Even your human body, which God has given to us as a gift, you have to work hard to maintain it. If you don't maintain it, time will tell.
Really? So maybe exercising, getting,
You
healthy diet and all.
You have to.
I interviewed a man of
gives
God,
us-
yes, who says, I don't go to the hospital. I don't remember the last time I go. You think we should be going for regular checkups, doing all of that? Or God is with us and we are men of God, so it's taken care of.
There was a lady. I'm always having little
Yes.
stories. There was a lady, and the lady was having throat problems. Either one of these throat situations. And so the person said, he went to somebody, the person prophesied and said, God has healed you. But still the throat problem was there. So finally, he went to another man of God. And the man of God said he's been waiting for you at the hospital. He said, I'm afraid I'll lose my voice. And the man of God said he's been waiting for you at the hospital. So he went to the hospital. They took him to theater. Yeah. And then there were supposed to be, so after they'd done the surgery, and then he gained his voice, then he decided to go and thank the surgeons. When he went, he said, how many were you? They said, we were 3. They said, no, I saw 4 of you. Wow. They said, we were 3. And then it occurred to her that the 4th person was God or Jesus Christ coming to the surgical ward to perform the surgery on him. And so use the method of medicine. And at the end of the day, who created medicine? If God gives you the grace to be able to live without going to hospital, I would still say do your medicals.
You should.
Continually. Check your sugar level.
Vitals and all of that.
Check your vitals continually. Because God in his wisdom has given human beings wisdom to be able to attend to our body.
So the men of God that will go out there and condemn science and feel that science is challenging God, what do you have to say to them?
Oh, but who created science? It is God that created science. It is God that gave man wisdom. And so man observes creation and then out of it deduces and then learns something out of it. But I want to say sometimes we are over spiritual and we're over religious. And we are overzealous.
Overzealous.
So we want to give credit
being so
to God.
frank, yes.
We've been, by the grace of God, I've been doing this for 40 years plus. So I've learned the ropes. And I've learned that, God in his wisdom combines the heaven and the earth. But many of us, we have become so religious, we are in a hurry to go to heaven. Bishop, we only learn that the earth matters.
That's right. You often speak about the lost diamond of honor. I mean,
yes.
In the Ghanaian society, what personal experiences led you to believe that our culture of respect is fading?
I want to say that, in fact, I taught something recently. And I said that we create hell.
We as a people, we create hell.
Apart from the unseen realm, the satanic and the evil forces that we don't see them, that influence man. But we create hell.
How?
We create hell because, let me say this, in the book of Revelation 20, it says hell itself will be cast into the lake of fire. So the lake of fire is constant. But the Bible tells us in James chapter 3 verse 6 that our tongue is hell. Our tongue is fire, is hell. So we create hell by the way we use our tongue. Husband and wife. Sometimes they are not fighting physically, but by what they say to one another. There are people, what you say to them breaks their confidence for life by what you said. So by what we say, we create hell. And one of the unfortunate things that is really worrying is with this, social media.
Yes.
And then we are tongue bashing.
Does that get you worried? Because the elderly is not respected anymore. The culture of respect is fading. It's eroding.
It's very, very worrying because we use our own tongues to destroy. We use our own gifts to destroy our own nation and our people. And we destroy those who are in honor. Yes, they make mistakes. They do things that are not, as it were, honorable. But it doesn't mean that we should walk over each other, insult each other, and, as it were, insult our head of state or president or people that they've placed in honor. And we do it comfortably. And the way we are doing it is worrying. And what is even worrying is when we run down our own nation, our own families, our own marriage, and we undermine each other. It's worrying. It's really, really worrying.
Can the church do something about it? Is the church doing something about it?
I think the church is doing a lot, but it's not enough. There is more we can do and take responsibility and call our people's attention that hell is not an end game. Many people are saying, eventually when you die, will you go to heaven or hell? Which I am arguing that hell is not only an end game, you create hell around you. The way you drive, The way you drive and you run into somebody's car, or you knock off somebody, or the way you ride your motorcycle. So we create, as it were, hell. You knock down somebody, the person has to end up at the hospital, and on and on and on. And little carefulness would have helped. So we create our own problems and our own dangers for ourselves.
I can see that this topic is very dear to you, and which is why in your Father's Day, sermon last year, you highlighted Romans 12:10 and the need for brotherly love and honor. How do you encourage young people to practice genuine honor online? Because now you see people engage in political disagreements, and it often becomes divisive, and you feel that we are one people. Why is politics dividing us?
Politics dividing us. Politics dividing us. Even, unfortunately, you look at one party, same party, and they are going for their primaries, and they are eating each other up, and clearly they'll be consumed. That is what the Bible says. So what we need to do is to use our sermons. And these days, our sermons, I always say, when we preach it, it's not like some days ago where it's limited to the church. Even we are going, as it were, we are going live and everybody. So we could use our opportunities as a people to drum home that, please, let's stop this culture of insult, culture of dishonor. Because if we don't honor each other, we are opening up ourselves for destruction.
Will we see, maybe now that you have 40 years, we would love to see you calling the political elites, the leaders, maybe of both parties, and sitting down with them. Maybe you can, take that leadership and say, look, what can we do better or well?
That is one major problem.
Wow.
There are countries you travel there, and people could show their political leanings, and nobody will blast them. But hey, in this part of our world, I'm sure we'll get there.
We'll get there when?
I pray it to be soon.
You pray? Would you have loved to declare your political leading as a man of God or a bishop of a church? Would you have had any issue with it as it stands?
As it stands now, I cannot.
But you
I wish I could.
And you would have done that.
I wish with my members,
yes,
we could have a debate.
Oh, really? Actually?
Oh, we could be openly, or we could, form a debate, minister.
You have a party you support. I know we have the two big parties, so I'll limit it to NPP and DC.
I support the policies.
Okay.
So if I'm going to vote, I look at the policies.
You support free SHS?
I support free SHS, definitely.
Wholeheartedly?
Wholeheartedly.
You think it's a great policy, left by the outgone government, the NPP government?
I think we must. I know it's costing the nation so much, but we definitely, somebody says, if you think education is too expensive, try ignorance. So I know it puts our government under a lot of fiscal, economic challenges, but we should try.
You support the 24-hour economy?
Oh, I definitely. Anything that will make Ghana better, I support it. Policies that will make Ghana better. But the sustenance, it's where we really have the challenge, because nobody will build our nation for us. One of the burdens I have when I drive by and I see other people, other nationals building our nations for us, our roads for us, and our people are working. Yeah. Oh, it really saddens my heart, because quote unquote, we were all made in the image of God. And one of the things that the church wants to sustain is to maintain the image of God by letting everybody gifts God has given to you, wisdom God has given to you, so that we were all made in the image of God. So when you have another human being, as it were, being instructed about, particularly within your own nation, is worrying.
Wow. Interesting. So you support 24-hour economy. You feel it's a great policy
I feel
by the
it's
NDC
a great
government. And then also free SHS by the NPP.
Should I tell you?
Yes, hand to heart, tell us.
Oh, I wish that after every few years, one
party will
party
come.
goes and another.
So you support the 8-year tenure, like maybe after 8 years another one will come.
Whether 8 years or 4 years, somebody should go so that somebody.
Someone will go.
Because
why?
Because what happens is, like I said, the enemy of success is perceived success. So we have a tendency that when we are in political power, sometimes
we get too comfortable.
We get comfortable.
But people also will talk about, continuity, and they want that time to do more. So give us 16 years, then we can develop them.
Even
more.
if you give somebody 20 years, and the weakness begins to show.
Okay.
So before we get to 20 years, let's try.
You are for every 4 years, naturally.
4 years too is too short.
So 8 years is perfect for us.
I wish we could change it, just like President Kufuor just was suggesting.
So 6 years.
If it's 6 years, then you finish. Because
you can't get a second term. It's 6 years.
6 years, you are done. Because 6 years, if you go 4 years, you are campaigning. And so there are things which hard knocks or hard decisions you can't make it. Because you would, as it were, come back and campaign again.
Were you for e-levy?
E-levy.
Yes.
E-levy, one of the things that worries me is that some policies you have to take it per time.
That's right.
Then when you are developing, then you jettison
so
it.
Maybe at the time it
wasn't.
wasn't.
At the time we needed e-levy.
Okay.
But at another time we don't need e-levy.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be permanent. The policies, as it were, we should look at our situation, and based on the situation and the policy, because right now, I think we are still paying for what do they call it? The one that came where the nose and the
COVID levy, yes.
I think we are still paying for COVID, but COVID is gone long ago.
Right. So you believe that it should be
scrapped
of a sort?
Scrapped. So
it was in for a purpose.
It was in for a purpose. Unless they are telling us that the money, we really quaff the money that time.
Wow.
And then COVID is gone. And we are still quote unquote paying for COVID. And I think it makes people, we overburden people. And one of the things, they say that there are two things that is constant, death and taxes.
Okay.
But even when Solomon overtaxed the people, God was not happy about it.
Wow. I can see a man of empathy and you feel for the people. That is a great, attribute. We'll be going for a break. But before that, still on social media, many of the young people will tell you, well, it gives us a voice and we can just use it and say it as it is because of freedom of expression. But you warn against the way that some of the youth are using, dishonoring it. How can the church help balance this? Because I know we have youth services. We can encourage responsible speech and all of that. What role are we playing?
The role we are playing is every time, everything which is a tool for us to help our development, we rather use the tool to fight one another. I think we should stop it. But what the church is doing is to continually address it.
Right.
Because one of the things the church seeks to address, and we're addressing, is idolatry. What is idolatry? Every time something becomes an object of worship, such that you become addicted to it, because we're against any form of addiction. So anything that makes you become a slave immediately, then know that it has outlived its usefulness for you. So it could be social media.
Okay.
And once you get addicted to it, there are children that you see them on the church compound and they are not paying attention. Right. And I hear your attention span is also affected because instead of reading, and because you see videos, and videos seems to be emotional and engaging, by the time you realize, people stop reading and they become addictive. And so when it comes to social media, I think something must be done. The church will talk and talk, but the government also has the ability to introduce policies that can curtail and control.
You believe that a communication ministry should come out with some regulation for social media and some guidance of a sort that will help?
Definitely. You know, there are parents for all these gadgets. There are parental controls.
Yes.
And as much as possible, the government should encourage so there will be parental controls. Because you may never know what your child will chance upon.
Yes.
And then when you and I were growing up, we didn't have social, there was time limit.
That's right.
There were, as it were, unfortunately. And one of the things that really helped was boarding houses. Boarding houses helped because if you are not allowed to bring your phone, and maybe say every Saturday,
Right.
you could use your phone for this long. And after that, you leave your phone with your senior housemaster.
That's right.
But I think some parents would want for their security,
Okay.
and they want their child to keep the phone.
Yeah.
That is also not the best, because they could approach their senior housemaster, senior housemistress, and use the phone in emergency.
That's right.
So I
So the
think,
parents, yes, we have a role to play. The church has a role, and government.
and government has a
we,
role
we,
to
we,
play.
we need that collaboration. As we go for the break, my question will be, do you believe religious leaders have done enough to hold political leaders accountable? Sincerely.
I think it should be dynamic. The word is dynamic. Because what worked for a time is now not working. So we always have to continually gauge, measure. There was a time LGBTQ was not an issue.
Right.
But for now, it's an issue. So society is so dynamic, and unfortunately, I would say, if I say, somebody would say,
Say it. That's it. Yes.
what I want to say, evil is also dynamic.
Evil is also dynamic.
Evil is intelligent. Some people think that evil is static and it's just there. No, it's just like now everybody that deals with computer, they now have to cyber security.
Yes.
And so every time, so if it comes to holding leaders accountable, it means that we must continually measure them, find out where they are, and engage them.
Right, so you're on Star Chat. We're going for a short break. When we return, a lot more on the show. Right, so you're welcome back to Star Chats, and Bishop Tackie-Yarboi is right here.
Thank you, Bola.
We're loving every moment of it. So we'll get to your personal life and all of that. But before that, has there ever been a time when you felt God was silent in your life, when prayer didn't bring answers that you expected?
Always and always and always.
Always and always.
Always.
How did that shape your faith?
What it does is keep doing what you are doing until you hear him again. Which means that he has not left you, but he has given you sufficient instructions.
Okay.
And he expects you to carry on. And so when you have finished one instruction, then he will come through and give you further instructions. But when you have not obeyed, so the last time you obeyed God is the last time you hear from him. So when you disobey him again, when you disobey and you don't obey him, you are not going to hear. Because he's giving you all the instructions.
So God answers us only if we obey.
God answers us when you obey and you walk with him. But when you disobey him, he withdraws.
I thought maybe he will forgive you and say, okay, let's see if he will change, but I'll still do good to him or her, and then he will come around.
When you have children at home, you don't treat all your children in the same way. There are those that you expect them to know what is right. And so when they don't do what they must do, you withdraw until they come back and say, why is daddy quiet? Why is not daddy responding to me? So immediately they would have to find out and go and do the correction.
But they are children. How would they know? And just like we are in the eyes of God. So you saying that there's been times that you've not heard from him. At that time, did you do wrong?
Can I answer you with
Yes.
a question? If you have babies, you breastfeed them. You give them, you hold their feeding bottles. But once they get to a certain age, you throw the feeding bottles to them. If they like, they should put it in their nose. And they will learn through that. The feeding bottle is not for nose, it's for my mouth. So there is what we call maturity. And God expects you to mature
As you grow.
as you grow. So there are times God has withdrawn his presence because he expects you that at this time you should know what to do and what not to do, even when it comes to sin. In the Old Testament, what the priest takes for the confession of sin or forgiveness of sin is different from what the ordinary member takes. And so God deals with you at your level of responsibility and maturity. There are things which when I do now, the whole society would say, no, Bishop.
Yeah.
No, Bishop. And there is what somebody, ordinary church member would do, and the whole society would say, forgive. And so when we put forgiveness at a flat plane,
It is not.
it must not be.
So then it means that sin can be categorized as well, dependent on who is committing it or who does.
Depending on who is committing it.
Really?
Definitely. Because you are held accountable based on what you have been giving. And the Bible says, to him that much is given, much is required.
expected. Then it means that for crime as well, we should look at it in terms.
Definitely.
But somebody goes to steal maybe, let's say, a bunch of plantain, given 5 years. But somebody goes out there, misappropriates 2 years. I mean, money's in millions, and is given 2 years.
Because there is injustice. But remember, Ghana, we say freedom and justice. And the injustice is one of the things that is creating more problems for us. Injustice. And one of the things God hates, in fact, there in Micah, I think chapter 6, it says what God loves is to do right. When children are born, immediately they know that you know your children.
Yes.
You give the gift to somebody and you don't give, they say, Daddy, this is unfair. This is unfair. So we're all born with the innate, because we are made in the image of God, we want justice. And one of the unfortunate things that is not helping us as a people
in this society is injustice. There's a lot of injustice in Ghana.
Oh, when somebody goes to steal and somebody also steals, and the person has been given more responsibility and he can get away with it.
Wow.
It introduces more and more injustice.
So it means corruption gets you worried, and as a leader of your church.
Definitely. Definitely. You see, I'm more concerned about how we get ourselves dehumanized. One of the things that is fighting us is that we dehumanize ourselves. God made us in his image, and he expects something from us. But there are things which when we do, we dehumanize one another. If you insult another human being, what you are doing is you are dehumanizing the person. So you would not have time to insult another human being made in the image of God. So eventually, you are also dehumanizing yourself when you insult another human being.
Lessons indeed. Bishop, when you sit back and reflect on the over 4 decades in ministry, what emotion fills your heart? Is it gratitude or sense of unfinished work? What emotion fills your heart the most?
I would say gratitude.
Gratitude.
For the opportunity I have been given to shape lives. Gratitude for the opportunity that people could trust me. I was just telling my immediate leaders, and I'm saying, you've trusted me for 40 years in the midst of my mistakes and idiosyncrasies. And for another human being to trust you makes it very, very difficult task. And you have to keep your eye on the ball.
That's right.
Because they've trusted you with their lives. And you can mess them up. Even your preaching.
But for 40 years, they
But
have
for
trusted.
40 years, they have trusted
Was
me.
there ever a point in your ministry, point in time where you felt like giving up? Maybe the early times when you started, at a point you thought, maybe this is not for me. There were challenges, there were troubles. Share with us some of those moments.
Challenges, troubles. When
Really?
you feel like giving up. Oh, yeah.
What happened?
When you, I can remember in this environment in which we are, I feel that when we came in, and there were tipper trucks around and all that, you ask yourself, God, did you really call me? God, are you with me?
You asked God that?
Oh, you ask God many times. And then when you have gathered people, but I had one occasion during ban on drumming, and I felt that I'm a gang. So I went all the way to they almost killed me.
They almost killed you?
I was almost killed. I had to hide in ceiling.
Where? In your church?
In Accra, in where I come from.
They came after you?
They came after me.
That you were doing a church service when there was a ban?
Ban on drumming, and we were not playing the equipment. But they felt that being a guy, I should know better. And when it gets to tradition, you will know that you have touched a raw nerve of a people. So you realize that when it's ban on drumming and things, you don't see me show my face. Because I always say that when it comes to people's culture and it comes to their tradition, it's better you give them space.
Really?
But unfortunately, sometimes the demands are also overstretched.
That's right.
It's
but
overstretched.
God is God and you are worshiping him. There's freedom of worship and you feel that you are doing the work of God.
There's freedom of worship, but the challenge is there are people who have not come to the place to allow you take away what they call their tradition, their culture. So you need a lot of tact and you need a lot of wisdom to deal with people. And as it were, the Bible says we are the salt of the earth. So you need a lot of tact, you need a lot of wisdom. There was a time that we gathered as a body and we went to all the various chiefs and then had a tete-a-tete, and we agreed on some conditionalities.
Okay. Right.
But times change. But what is worrying now is every year they change the bar. Every year, this person comes and says, no, you can do this, you cannot do that, you can do this. So, but let us all agree. That this is what you can do.
The do's and the don'ts.
And
then that's standardized.
And then standardized.
So that is, it can be a challenge. What other major challenge did you face early days of your ministry?
Early days of ministry, it's when you don't know where you are going. I have one of my bishops. Okay. He says, we knew you didn't know where you were going.
Really?
But we still followed you.
Oh,
which means they trusted me.
Yes. Yes.
And so that can be worrying. And then when your trusted people break your heart.
That's it. I was coming to that you work with people. Ever been a time where some left you, some will break your heart, some will just go and malign and just say things about you. They say, wow.
It comes to the turf. But that time, you didn't know it comes to the turf. And you felt that, but we are worshiping the same God. We have all agreed together. And only for you to be betrayed.
You felt broken?
Oh, you feel broken, you feel betrayed, and you feel like, throwing the cup.
You're a man of God. Why didn't you see that coming?
You see, one of the things about God, and I wish he would change, God does not show you the full picture of where you are going. Even Abraham. Because if he shows you where you are going, you will leave him. You go on your own, you go, as it were, wayward.
That's right.
So he leads you each day as his own challenges. And he leads you, he shows you a picture of where we are going, and then withdraws. That is why I say, when you arrive there, he'll be standing there. But if you go wayward, you will never hear his voice until you have obeyed. Then you meet him there. As for discouragement, it comes in various forms. And that is why I'm very grateful to God for my wife.
Wow.
That
she's been a pillar.
Oh, she would definitely hold your hand. Wow. And sometimes I'm saying women pray more than men.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Women,
oh, so you are the bishop. You think your wife prays more than you?
women are the first to say, let's pray. You know, women, if you are driving
Yes,
and you get
yes,
lost
yes,
somewhere,
yes.
women are the first to suggest
Correct.
that let's ask for direction. And say, I know where I'm going. By the time you get lost, now you have to eat humble pie
Right,
and
yes.
say, honey, indeed, I was lost.
Wow. You know, when people hear the name Bishop Ni Tackie-Yarboi, I mean, they think of leadership,
Yes.
wisdom, deep teaching. But who is the man behind the pulpit? I mean, when the microphone is off, the congregation has gone home. How will you describe yourself?
Oh, I describe myself as continually staying in touch with God and staying in touch. You know, it's a cross. You know, God gave us a cross. And the cross means that vertical.
Okay.
And then stay down and stay in relation with people. And what you have to do is, you may never know what somebody will be tomorrow. You may never know. And for 40 years, I've come to learn that some will break your heart. But those who would keep your hands together, they are more. And so when you look at those who have held your hand and those who have become something, that really is encouraging. And that keeps you going. And when you want to even give up, you look at those who have been able to achieve or succeeded, and that will keep you going continually.
Now we
And
go back
that
to
is what keeps you
yes, your early days at Mamprobi. You grew up in
Yes.
Mamprobi, then Ebenezer Secondary School. A young me. How were you like?
going. What I would say is God has been good.
Really?
Oh,
Were you a
the-
naughty child, stubborn guy?
I was naughty.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
Why did they beat people around or something?
No, I'm the quiet type. But I set the trap.
You said a trap.
I set the
What
trap.
traps?
The trap is that I would use other people, and I would prepare other people and inspire them to go and do the wicked. I can remember when I was in Salem, that is what they called it. There was a time, we have what we do that you would toll the bell
Okay.
and then sleeping for not waking up.
Oh, it was a boarding house then.
A boarding house.
Salem was.
Osu Salem.
Okay. Wow.
I went there.
Okay.
And I can remember when we were leaving the school, I led to organize such a thing.
You did that?
Oh, I
Was
did
it a
that.
demonstration or getting
Oh,
an
no,
appeal
no,
or just
no.
pranking people?
Pranking and then bullying.
Oh, so you were a bully.
I'm a bully, but you will never see it on my face.
Very mischievous.
Very, very,
mischievous.
adventurous and mischievous. I'm very adventurous and very mischievous.
You had a nickname back then at Osu Salem?
Osu
Or you had it at
Salem,
Ebenezer, at Padua?
Padua,
They called you what?
They called me all kinds of names.
Like what?
Do you know that I was the only one during our time in Padua? I was the entertainment prefect.
Oh, you were?
And I was the chaplain of the school.
Oh, how can that happen? Entertainment prefect
And then
and
the
chaplain.
chaplain.
Oh, but how did that happen at Ebenezer?
Because when we go to Intako, I was
You were
the
leading the
Jama
Jama.
leader.
Oh, it was sure Jama wa.
Sure, Jama, Mashio J. When I gave my life to Christ and changed,
okay.
I think the school authorities didn't believe that the man has changed.
Okay.
So they thought that is just a flash in the pan. So
You gave your life to Christ as a teenager when you were.
I gave my life to Christ as a teenager.
Whoa.
And I still remember, as soon as I gave my life to Christ, I didn't know all the jargons I've heard from God.
Yeah.
As soon as I said, from today, I give my life to the Lord Jesus Christ and I will follow you. Then I heard a voice tell me that I will do God's work.
Really? Just like that?
Just like that. And the room in which we were a little dark. In fact, I was the only one that lifted his hands and said, I'll give my life to Christ, because I had started going to Scripture Union. And we had gone to a middle school, we call it Saito, to go and preach to them. But it was when the gentleman I went with, his name is Peter Janja, when he was speaking, then I understood what it means. So when he gave the invitation, I was the only one in the midst of the school children.
Wow.
I was the only one that lifted up my hand, and it led me to pray. And then that day, I realized I'll do God's work.
And what kind of home did you come from?
I come from, I grew up in really Osu.
Osu, okay. Osu Mami.
Osu Mam in Kinkawe, or
wow.
we'll call it a mantra.
Right.
So growing up, I saw all the weed being smoked, where you felt people that were inspiring you, they will be arrested smoking weed or go to, as it were, pickpocket or something. These were my heroes. So I was growing into that.
Did you ever smoke the weed?
No, I didn't have the occasion to do it, and I thank God. In fact, if I had not given my life to Christ, I don't think I'll be alive today.
You wouldn't have.
I don't believe. Oh, when I was young, and I came to stay somewhere in Akwiteman, there was a distillery. Distillery.
So you used to quaff.
I was so adventurous. I wanted to see when that Akpeteshi comes from the distillery, what it tastes like. Okay. And so they come to call me that it's ready. Come and taste.
Oh, so you're a tasting officer. Very young.
Very young, and I was a tasting officer. But thank God, one time when I went to school, I gave my life to Christ.
And that was it.
And I like gambling. Ooh. I don't like gambling. I go to the race course, betting. But I don't like somebody to sit on a horse and then I will bet on him. I want to play the betting myself.
Really?
But why should somebody go and play soccer and I bet on him? Yeah. I should play the soccer myself. Then
so you used to ride?
No, I don't ride.
Okay.
But my senior brother was, he went to
a jockey.
The
really?
Jockey.
Okay.
He almost became a full jockey, but my parents didn't allow. So what I like is to go to the race course, and when they are betting, I would rather be gambling. And I like gambling.
Wow.
And when I went to Ebinisco,
yes.
For the first year I was gambling.
First year?
Oh, I would gamble with the seniors. But God
and you used to win and all of that. You put money on it, or
that
was serious.
You put money.
Where were you getting the money from?
Your pocket money. And then if you play well, you get other people's money. But God came through for me.
God has been good.
I would have been very adventurous. I would have, the way I am.
If not for Christ, you would have been a very bad guy, naughty guy.
I would have been very bad, but you will never see it written on my face. Very adventurous.
Smooth operator.
When you tell me if I tag this, I will die, I would rather try it. I'd rather take the risk. But I think on the positive side, it has helped me.
It has helped you. God called you for the ministry work. And we'll talk about the conference that is coming up and all of that. But let's get to meet your family. You are married and all of that. You've been married for how many years?
I'm married for 39 years.
39 years.
Next year will be 40.
Wow.
And I'm married to
Lady Reverend Dora.
Dora.
Yes.
They Tackie-Yarboi.
How do you guys meet?
Hey, we met through a friend though.
Oh, a friend.
I knew her Scripture Union days. She went to Laboni. I went to Ebenezer, and I had some friends in Laboni, so I'll go and visit them.
Okay.
So I've seen her once or twice, but forget about that. I didn't imagine.
Okay.
Then, over years, I met a friend of hers that was coming to Victory when we started, and then was talking about her. I said, who is this lady? Until I met her, then I realized I know her. Then, before church, she used to come to my house. We pray before we go to church. And that time, I'd suffered a few broken hearts.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
So you had been with some ladies and they had broken quite a few.
Oh,
you broke hearts?
I've broken hearts. They have also broken my heart.
Really? Young pastor?
Young.
As a young pastor? Or you're in ministry?
Definitely. Definitely.
So, you see some of them around and you say, look at me now.
Oh, we have become,
friends.
Family.
Oh, right.
Because we were young, we all started. And as we are growing up, then you realize that we were really meant for each other.
What do you tell Dora for Dora to buy into the vision and say, look, I'll be your eternal partner?
Oh, I think there was one passion she had, and I think it worked for me. She said she wanted to marry anybody who does God's work. And that was pure risk. Because it was not like these days when, as it were, you know, there are buildings, there's where to stay and all that. When I married her, we went to stay in her mother's house.
Oh, you lived with your wife's parents.
I live with my wife.
That would have been a tough one because many would not say, look, you're a man. The man, they say the woman will leave the family and, you know.
That's nice said. But she understood that way. In fact, I had where we were going to stay.
Okay.
But the way she had been brought up, when we went there that day, she went to tell the mother said, no, I can't leave my daughter like that.
The space wasn't good.
You
were a hustler.
It was not good at all. Wow. It was not good at all. It was not good, but she still believed in me.
Were you comfortable? Will you encourage young ones of today to say, well, it would be good to live with your in-laws for a while if you don't have the means? Is it something from your experience?
I think it depends on the in-laws as well. Because
but for society at large, will you encourage people just look down upon you, disdain, and feel that why should you do that? As a man, you should have your own place.
I think there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
When both of you understand what real marriage is, and you know you're on your way somewhere.
Right.
And for the young people, I want to say, don't over-push your luck.
I love that.
It's tough. It's tough when you are beginning. So as much as possible, the two of you should be able to understand. And you could talk to the ladies' parents, because that is where the tough time is.
That's right.
And let them be able to accommodate for a while. And that means that you also give up setting of your rights. Setting of your rights.
Yes.
And liberties. Because of how
you are under their roof.
You are under their roof. And there are some things that you can't do.
You can't. Indeed.
And your liberties. And then that helps you to be disciplined. Because you can't talk to their daughter.
That's right. Anyhow.
Anyhow. And then they will hear. Wow. And then there is an argument. Wow.
So maybe in effect it's a good thing to do so that you are grounded and checked.
But don't let it be too long.
Don't let it be too. That's instructive.
Because if you stay for too long, you begin to lose your dignity and respect, particularly as a man.
Wow. We'll talk about some more how you've traveled the world and preached, to many and in many nations as well. But let's talk about the Victory Bible Church 40th anniversary. And something big is coming up at the Independence Square.
Definitely.
October 31. Tell us about it. What is happening, Bishop?
What is happening is that on October 31, in the evening, we are starting from 5. And we are the whole Victory Bible Church and the body of Christ. It's invited to Independence Square, and we're having it from 5 p.m. all the way till about 9 p.m.
From 5 to 9 p.m.
To 9 p.m. Okay. Just to thank God, just to celebrate, just to dance, and just to encourage one another.
That's right.
That is what we are doing on the 31st.
Okay.
Then on Saturday, we are going to Accra Central, Manchagbona, to go and feed medical care and all that to our brothers and sisters in that neighborhood. Things like, they will do the medical bit of it, find out how they are doing, and then the opportunity to maybe feed those who are disadvantaged. But on Sunday, on the 2nd of November, is where the whole Victory Bible Church.
So nationwide.
Nationwide.
Wow, that's going to be a
Victory
huge
Bible Church is supposed to have service.
Okay.
We are all marching to Independence Square. And we are going to have service right from 7 a.m. in the morning all the way to 12 midday. Wow. Before the sun comes out.
That's a huge one. All members are expected to.
Some are going to travel from Sunyani, from Techiman, from on and on, from Takwa and beyond Bogoso area.
40 years, God has been
from
good.
Obuasi, and we are all going to gather. And then all our churches that are in the US, that are in Europe, Dubai, and on. Some are in town already. Fully prepared.
Wow.
But before we do that, on the 27th, Wonderful Jesus, our flagship conference, is starting from 27th, 28th, 29th, and then the 30th.
Okay.
Which means Monday evening all the way to Thursday evening. Then Friday morning, we don't have a program, but Friday evening, which is 31st, 5 p.m., we meet at Independence Square. Then on the 2nd, we meet at Independence
7
Square.
a.m. to 12 midday.
7 a.m. to 12 midday.
It's a mega one indeed, and many are looking forward to it. I believe you're going to stream online for people who are also out of Ghana, who can't make it, and even here, and they can't be at the Independence Square to work.
We are going to be there, and then we seize the opportunity to invite Shatta.
Since you want to break Shattawali's record?
No, he should come and be part of our Thanksgiving service.
So this is an open invitation to Shattawali.
To Niama.
Wow.
But I hear he quotes a lot of scripture.
Yes. He's a deep guy.
He definitely.
Have you met him?
No, I haven't met him.
Maybe
we have seen him.
Oh, guys should meet,
I think we must get to the place.
Do you say Akwaba or Obake?
Would say all mixed together. Because since I passed.
So what is Obake?
Obake. Which means if you go somewhere, like you have traveled somewhere. Obabake. And then when you're on your way going and you see it, which means you definitely come back. Obake.
Okay.
Wherever you go, whatever it is, Obake.
Okay.
So you will come. You will come back.
Right.
And that is a good omen. To say that as I'm going, Mabake. Then when you come, then you say Mbake. Yes, so okay. I've gone.
I've come back. Wow. But the message on Sunday primarily will center on.
First of all, giving thanks to God. Number 2, what lies ahead of us 40 years? What next? What do we have to do? Then the real challenge is getting the next generation. The next generation.
Right.
Because some of them, quote unquote, are intimidated.
Right.
Some of them have to juggle so many balls. Their own destiny, their own future, and then finding out, can I trust this God? Because the challenges they face are different from what we faced. Right. The demands on them are different from the demands we had. So we are first thanking God. Number 2, we are asking ourselves, what happens the next 40 years?
Yes.
And the real challenge is, by the next 40 years, if Jesus does not come, some of us will not be on the stage. And what happens is, you are the best person who MCs, who is in charge. When you keep too much on the stage, the people will clap you off.
Yes.
So
you have a nice succession plan.
Nice succession
Victory Bible Church. You have that in place.
Oh, we have it in our constitution.
Oh, wow.
We have
because I know that's the headache of a lot of the churches now, because your contemporaries now, they are there, and now who to succeed them is the headache.
Having a succession plan is one thing, and having the tactics, having the strategy to implement it is another thing. Because you don't make up your mind and say the church is mine. So I want my children to automatically succeed me. And that itself, it doesn't work like that. And one of the things you have to try to do is to let people know that it's not Tackie-Yarboi and Sons Church.
Right.
In fact, God uses you to start. But when you get to a place, you are no more in charge.
So you should know when to get off the stage, when the applause
is louder. Okay. And I always tell people continually, if today I decide that I'm no more part of Victory Bible Church and I'm walking out of Victory Bible Church, my own wife will not follow me.
Really?
Because she asks me, have you heard from God?
Yes.
Have you heard from God? Number 1. Number 2, there are people all their life, what they know is Victory Bible Church. One of the things that is very worrying is church split. Because you can even split marriages. You can split families. So you don't get to a place and say, I'm leaving and I've heard from God. Because people, you need trust. This is how they say, in God we trust. All men we monitor.
In God we trust. All men we monitor. Interesting. As we wrap it all up, we want to get to know who's your favorite musician right here in Ghana? We'll come to, secular, but for gospel, who's your favorite gospel musician?
For gospel, I think, hey, you're putting me on the spot. I like all of them.
Oh, I know you like all of them, but certainly your best will be who?
The one that I think I have a relationship with, I will they call her Starr Nyamiche.
Esther Nyamiche. Oh, okay, right. That's
Because when they started, you could feel the passion.
That's right.
They didn't have the complex equipment and all that, but they drew you into the presence of God.
Right.
But the contemporary, the young ones, all of them are my people. So in order to avoid...
Do you listen to secular music?
Secular, hardly.
Hardly, but you do listen. So if you do listen, who do you listen to?
When they are playing secular, they are those who...
Like who?
Once a while catch
like
my attention.
Yeah, but you mentioned Shatta Wale, so you listen to Shatta Wale songs.
Oh,
right?
Shatta Wale, to be honest with you, I don't listen to him. Okay. The only thing I remember about him is pa 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 pa.
Pa 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 pa. Okay.
But I wonder, because Shatta, I don't know, sometimes it takes just few words.
Put them together
and it's going.
It's a movement. You've heard of the Shatta movement?
I've heard of Shatta movement. And then only few words.
Do you listen to reggae music?
Reggae music.
Not Bob Marley, not Lucky Dube.
In fact, I used to like, what's the name? Not Bob Marley. Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Yeah,
no,
Marley.
There is another one. Who made the sun? Who made the moon?
Okay.
What's the name?
It's not Johnny Nash, it's not Peter Tosh, it's not...
No, not
Bob Marley. Okay.
He is more calm.
Okay.
He is more,
Right, but you love reggae
until he
music.
came to Ghana, and I heard he went to visit one of the towns around Kokoblebe. I won't mention anything.
Okay. Now I get it. Okay.
What's the name? Cliff.
Jimmy Cliff.
Cliff.
Jimmy Cliff. Yes.
Jimmy Cliff.
Jimmy Cliff. You love, yes. No, that's a great guy.
And then, yes.
Okay. So
but
music,
Peter Tosh, I like his, Peter Tosh, what's the name? Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, okay.
I like his song.
Which one? Redemption song?
Redemption.
Okay.
Redemption.
That's good.
Then I tend to like the one they killed in South Africa.
Yeah, Lucky Dube. You love
his voice alone.
Yes.
Because his target...
You know some of his tunes? Daddy, wherever you are.
I think I like that one.
Remember me.
And then because of maybe apartheid,
yes.
he sang with a lot of passion.
Right.
But it's unfortunate. It's a crooked world. So his own people...
Are you a good musician yourself?
Not at all.
You can't sing to save your life?
One of the things that I don't like, but Bishop Elijah, I have Bishop Elijah, Bishop Clement, when we are praying, and I'm supposed to, I lift up a song, they won't sing along, they will crack their voice. That tells me I'm off key.
Okay.
The one who used to help me also passed on early. His name is Bishop Alberta Santi.
Interesting. It's that time for our mystery questions, and we have them here. Kindly, yes.
Okay.
Read them out for us. So you pick one, and let's see what you have in there.
The mystery question I have is a mystery itself. It's who are your 3 best performing ministers?
That's right.
In the Mahama government.
That's right. 3 performing ministers so far. And you can even mention the sector, not the minister, but you feel that these sectors are thriving or doing well.
Wow.
Yes. They've been around for 10 months, at least.
They've been around for
good time to assess them. Yes. Which ministry or which ministers?
I like some of them for the tough time they are facing.
Oh, really? Okay. Like which?
The one who has to handle the mines. What's his name?
The Galamsey issue.
The Galamsey issue.
Kofi Amaboa.
Kofi Amaboa. You know why? I'm looking at the way he's going to balance it. When they were not in power,
what
he said, and now that they are in power. So I'm always trying to see how you resolve it. So the challenge of resolving it itself
makes his ministry interesting.
So
that's number 1. You're looking at that, watching closely. Number 2 will be which minister or ministry?
The number 2 person that I like, who I think is working really on the quiet, is the one for energy.
Oh, Minister for Energy.
Yeah.
John Jinapo.
John.
You think he's an excellent, minister,
I
right?
think he's doing his best.
Okay.
I think he's doing his best to
keep the lights on.
Keep the lights on, and the dynamics there are very different.
Okay.
Because he has to juggle a lot of things together.
Number 3 will be who? Yes, John Jinapo, number 2.
John Jinapo, number 2.
The third one?
The third one I like is the education minister.
Oh, Honorable Haruna Idrisu.
Because when I saw him yesterday, gone to Presiding.
Yeah, he's gone to some schools.
And trying
You think he's a hands-on minister? He's there to look at the challenges, get things to work, right?
I think he's a hands-on minister. But he's faced with a lot of
challenges,
real life challenges, because the future, as it were, is in his hand.
That's right. But you believe that he's on course?
Oh, I believe that he's on course.
Right.
And one minister too that, if I don't mention his name, is Sam George.
Oh, Sam George, Minister for Communications.
Minister for Communication, because he's also hands-on.
We asked for 3, you gave us 4.
Yes.
We move on to the next mystery question then.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, let me hope I didn't. Hey, wow, this is... What do you believe is the most misunderstood teaching in the modern church today? And how should Christians engage with it to find true transformation?
Right.
What do you believe is the most misunderstood teaching in the modern church today?
Yes.
The most misunderstood teaching in the modern church today is the concept of going to heaven and the end time. Misunderstood in the sense that every day we are saying is the end of the world, is the end of the world. But Jesus told us, occupy till I come. Recently, you heard there was a teaching around the rapture is the end of the world. And what it does is, then the rapture didn't take place. So what happens? So what happens is, it makes us not to be effective on this earth. So every day you keep your head up. It's going soon and soon, only to realize that he hasn't come like you expected.
So people don't live their life. They are always in expectation, and they don't live
expectation. And we are not able to be the salt of the earth and preserve society, nations from going to decadence. So I think that is one of the misunderstood messages.
The last mystery question
would be okay. Maybe about prophetic. If Jesus Christ were to walk through Ghana today, what do you think would grieve him the most about our nation,
Ghana,
and our churches? That the church has not preserved society. The church has not been able to influence the society to become what God wants man to be. And that is to be God's image and bring peace, development, and bring justice to the earth.
Interesting. When your name is mentioned 40 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for, Bishop?
I want to be remembered as a man that feared God and walked with him.
And indeed it is. Congrats on the first half. 40 years it is. And we say, keep on keeping on. We look forward to the next 40 years, God willing, Bishop.
Thank you very much, and thank you for influencing society.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Pulling them towards God's intention for their lives.
Wonderful. It's been an interesting one. A great sit down with the one and only Bishop Tackie-Yarboi. An interesting man. And I call him a man for all seasons. Thanks so much to my production team for making this happen. It has been another great edition. My name is Bola Ray. Catch you next week. Thank you.